GEMMA 3 in just dropped as the most powerful on-device AI model yet deep. Mind's new alpha genome can predict how DNA mutations affect our health, and Google's Gemini CLI now lets you code straight from your terminal using Gemini 2.5 Pro Claude's turning into an app builder right inside the chat window. Meta just poached top researchers from OpenAI. WhatsApp added AI summaries for your unread chats, and YouTube is rolling out an AI-powered search carousel and instant video summaries. Let's get into all of the crazy stuff's happening in AI right now, so let's talk about it first. Up, GEMMA 3N jumped from preview to full release on June 26, 2025. The original GEMMA arrived early last year, bagged more than 160 million cumulative downloads and spawned over a dozen specialist offshoots covering everything from medical triage to content filtering. Version 3N keeps that open source energy, but rewires the entire stack for phones and other edge boards. A single checkpoint now digests images, audio, video and plain text and responds in text, and it already understands 140 languages for text plus 35 languages in its multimodal pipeline. Google published the weights on Hugging Face in Kaggle. Dropped a click to try endpoint in AI Studio and even let you one-click deploy straight to cloud. Run the model shows up in two effective sizes. E2B behaves like a 2 billion parameter network but hides 5 billion raw parameters under the hood and runs happily in just 2 gigabytes of VRAM. E4B behaves like 4 billion, owns 8 billion raw and still fits in 3 gigabytes. That frugality comes from Matformer, a Matryoshka-style transformer that trains a large model with a smaller, fully functional model nested inside. During training, the E4B giant learns side by side with its E2B little sister, so you can grab the submodel for raw speed, keep the full model for accuracy, or open the brand new Matformer lab and carve out custom sizes by tweaking feed forward widths from 8,192 up to 16,384 and selectively skipping layers until the memory footprint matches your phone or Raspberry Pi. Matformer Lab even runs a mini benchmark sweep using MMLU and friends, so you know exactly what capability you're giving up or gaining. Despite that stingy memory bill, E4B just smashed the 1,300 point mark on LM Arena, becoming the first checkpoint under 10 billion parameters to do so per layer. Embeddings push most embedding weights onto the CPU, so only the core transformer 2 billion or 4 billion parameters lives on your accelerator. A trick called KV cache sharing lets higher layers reuse keys and values computed lower down, cutting the pre-fill stage roughly in half and giving long prompt or streaming workloads a visible speed bump. GEMMA 3N gets dedicated encoders too on the sound side. It borrows the universal speech model, emitting 1 token every 160 milliseconds, roughly 6 tokens a second, and at launch chews through clips up to 30 seconds speech to text and spoken language translation already shine between English and Spanish, French, Italian and Portuguese in chain of thought. Prompting still squeezes out a few extra percentage points of accuracy. The Vision branch rides on the freshly minted MobileNet V5300M. It gulps images at 256, 512 or 768 pixels. Processes 60 frames per second on a pixel, runs 13 times faster than the old Solid baseline when fully quantized. 6.5 times faster without, delivers 46% fewer parameters and a 4 times smaller memory footprint, yet somehow Scores higher on vision language tasks. All the usual tooling showed up on day 1. Hugging Face Transformers Llama.cpp. Google AI Edge Llama MLX VLM Vertex AI. Docker SG Lang NVIDIA Nemo Unslot LM. Studio. The list keeps expanding. Google even dangled a $150,000 GEMMA 3 in Impact challenge for any on-device multimodal demo with genuine social benefit. If you've been itching to run frontier level AI on a handset without melting the battery, this weekend looks perfect. But real quick, if you've been following all this AI news and thinking, okay, this is cool, but what can I actually do with it? You're definitely not alone. That's why we created the AI Income Blueprint. It shows you 7 ways regular people are using AI to build extra income streams on the side. No tech skills needed, and you can automate everything pretty easily. The guide contains simple, proven methods using tools I often talk about on this channel. Download it free by clicking the link in the description. Sticking with Mountain Dew, DeepMind quietly lifted the curtain on Alpha Genome a day earlier in wet lab. Researchers are buzzing. Think of it as AlphaFold's DNA-centric cousin. The transformer devours mountains of public assay data and predicts how a single letter tweak in the 3 billion base human genome ripples through molecular circuitry, whether a gene gets louder, goes quiet, or fires in the wrong tissue. Research VP Pushmeet Kole calls it the first model that unifies the entire laundry list of genome interpretation challenges instead of treating them as separate tasks. Alpha Genome is completely free for non-commercial use right now, with commercial licenses on the roadmap. Caballero at Sloan Kettering says it lets his lab sift thousands of variants from patient studies in hours rather than weeks, while Julian Gur in Munich loves how it pinpoints the handful of mutations that hijack gene expression in ultra-rare cancers, potentially steering therapy. DeepMind isn't promising ancestry reports or personality predictions, but CEO Deus Hassabis frames it as a milestone on the road to the longer-term idea of simulating a full living cell in silicone while biologists were digesting that bombshell. Software engineers got a treat of their own. Gemini CLI landed alongside GEMMA, the tool pipes the Gemini 2.5 Pro reasoning model straight into your terminal so you can stay in Z. Fire off a prompt and watch the model reason step by step through code config files or research notes. It inherits the new DeepThink mode, offers 60 requests per minute and a,000 per day, completely free, and the whole repo is open sourced under Apache 2.0 because it plugs into Gemini Code Assist. Anything you do in the shell syncs with the VS Code extension, so your GUI and command line stay on the same page. Anthropic refused to be left in Google's shadow and shipped a beta that turns Claude from friendly chatbot into instant app studio. Last year's Artifacts view could already show diagrams and compiled code as live widgets. Now Claude writes the code, compiles it, and serves a fully interactive app right beside the chat. Early testers have built AI-powered flashcard generators, trivia games, data dashboards, and even agent workflows that chain multiple Claude calls behind a single API route. The feature works on free Pro and Max plans, and because app traffic is built against the viewers' quota, not the creators, Anthropic is actively encouraging people to share what they build. Corporate chess got spicy. 2 Meta successfully wooed 3 OpenAI Zurich researchers Lucas Bayer, Alexander Klesnikov, and Xiao Hughai, and Also signed Tropit Bansal, who had been steering OpenAI's reasoning models since 2022. The Wall Street Journal says Mark Zuckerberg is personally offering compensation packages worth roughly $860 crore rupees, about $13 million per head, and has already spent $14 billion on a stake in Scale AI. The new hires are expected to accelerate the next Llama release and whatever reasoning heavy agent Meta has cooking. The WhatsApp crew kept the